What's going on, everybody? Patrick Garcia here from Legendary Lifestyles. Here at the Marriott. Not actually staying here, but my office for work is like right next to here. So I figured I'd just pop by and shoot my video journal real quick. Okay, so I was hanging out in San Francisco about a couple weeks ago with my brother and his friends, and I was talking with a good friend of ours named Daniel about doing the stuff that we want to do creative-wise, so creative projects. And one of the things that we both have in common is that we are both friends with a lot of artists, and we find that the trouble with artists is that they usually are waiting for a sign of inspiration, and they're usually waiting for their muse to come in some kind of shape or form to inspire movement on a project. Now, of course, this can have many problems. A lot of the times, artists have all these great ideas, but they never really do everything they can to make those ideas to come to fruition. And and those barriers can be blamed on time management or lack of money or resources. So, I don't want to speak for everybody because I know everybody's got special circumstances. But in my case, and me and Daniel's case, we're surrounded by a lot of people who say they want to do a lot of things, but they never follow through. So I'm not speaking to anybody in particular, and this is something that I just noticed. And what I told him is how I got around that is being relentless, even if you suck. Because as you can see, the quality of my videos are not very good. I still don't have a microphone, and if it wasn't for my brother, I never would have learned how to use the shutter speed and the ISO on my camera. And what else? And I don't have a light, so and I've been really busy during the day, so that's why I shoot a lot of my video journals at night. That's why some of the lighting can be very off, and some of it looks very dark and stuff like that. But we were talking about being relentless in whatever it is that you do, even if you're terrible at it like I am with these video journals. Because a lot of the times when you're relentless in whatever it is that you do, you actually become closer on walking the path to mastery than most people. I don't want to say that I'm better than anybody else. There's a lot of talented video bloggers, video journals out there that are way better than mine, aesthetically and content-wise. But I set up a standard for myself to release these videos once a week. Now, my original intent was to release them every Thursday night, and now that's slipped into Friday, and since I've been going out a lot, it's been slipping into, spewing into Saturdays, which is something that I really don't want to do because I want to have like a set time, kind of like a primetime television show. It's very important to me that I get these videos up once a week because it shows that I have standards for myself. So Tyler, aka Owen Cook from Real Social Dynamics, put out a video blog a couple weeks ago talking about how you set up certain standards for yourself that you do not break no matter what. So a couple of standards that I have is eating healthy, reading books, going to the gym 2 or 3 days a week, and working on these video blogs. And one other thing that I'm trying to add in there is meditation, because the more you meditate, the more you become focused in life and present to the moment, and not some like little sensitive guy who goes haywire every time something small that happens and it disrupts your world, and it kind of sort of like knocks you off your center. So people who have standards for themselves, particularly, they have rituals as well. So you can read more about this in Twyla Tharp's book, The Creative Habit. And for those of you who watch Dexter, what do serial killers do? All right, they're very meticulous about everything. Everything about them is a ritual. So if you're a writer, Maybe there are times of the night where you write from like 12 midnight to 2 in the morning. Or if you're an athlete, maybe you get up 3 or 4 times a week at 6 o'clock in the morning and run. So this is kind of like relating back to a video that I did back then about knowing when to beat yourself up. So just to reiterate those lessons, you know, don't beat yourself up for making mistakes. Beat yourself up for slipping on the standards that you create for yourself. A prime example that I like to use for relentlessness is a rapper by the name of Lil B. Right, so you can look him up on YouTube, Lil B. And this guy actually made it famous for being a sort of rap troll. I think the jury's still out if he's serious or not, whether it becomes to his rapping. But one thing I do know is this kid could actually rap. He's got songs where he's just goofing her off and saying whatever shit that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But he has some songs that are really refined and really deep. But that's besides the point. Getting back to originally why I brought him up is that he sort of became famous for being sort of like annoying and a terrible rapper. But even though it was a facade, what was important is that this guy has over like literally has thousands and thousands of songs. This guy releases mixtapes up the wazoo, and he's been known for that. He has a huge following, and you know, his fans, they like to call themselves Task Force, and they praise him. They call him the bass god, and I think it's pretty awesome. I'm actually a fan of his music. You know, it's fun. See, so what he does is that, you know, releasing mixtapes, making music, being relentless, it's become a habit to him. It's like second nature. So whatever it is that you're doing, the more that becomes a habit for you, it's almost like a reflex. And it becomes muscle memory, which takes place in the hippocampus of the brain. So, you know, more on that in the book Mastery by George Leonard. So, you know, whatever it is that you do, be relentless at it. And the more you become relentless at it, the more it'll turn into a habit. You know, and that's when, you know, you start to form that muscle memory around whatever skill or craft that you're trying to develop. So, you know, all in all, this is more of a commitment to the journey and not the destination. And I know it's very annoying to hear that, because people say it a lot. Well, I mean, it's because I believe in it. Okay, so when you look at the road to mastery and the journey to mastery, people think that it's like this. It's like a lot of ups and downs, right? Ups and downs. But what a graph of mastery actually look like is a sense of, well, not really a sense, but a series of plateaus, which goes like this. Like bam, growth spurt, bam, growth spurt, bam. So that's what the path to mastery looks like. That's what being relentless looks like, is you're on a series of plateaus with little growth spurts in between those plateaus. So that's why it's very frustrating to stay on a path that you're on, because, you know, there are moments where you're not going to see any kind of improvement. There are moments where you're not going to see any kind of growth, any kind of change. But what's important is that you stay on it, because those growth spurts will, you know, come in between the plateaus. So, you know, stay on the journey, even if you feel that you're not making any kind of improvement. It's about dedication and hard work. Okay? So, with that said, this is Patrick Garcia from Legendary Lifestyles. Become legendary. Peace.